If you go to a doctor because there's something wrong with your ear, and the ear really hurts you, you go in and you say, oh, Doc, the ear is really bothering me. The doctor comes in, he or she comes in, and they take a look at the light. They open up that light and they look inside your ear and they take a good look. And they see something not too good. The doctor typically does not look in your ear and go, they don't do that. They might think it, but they don't do it. That's because the doctor is utilizing a performance technique. There's nothing phony about it. It goes on in every business. In every business, you must ask yourself, we must ask ourselves, what does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it smell like? What does it feel like?
I believe that a most admired company or a most admired brand is something that transcends just being a product. It's like when somebody asks for a Kleenex instead of a tissue, when somebody asks for a Coke instead of a cola, when somebody says, wow, that is so Disney, or gee, that's not very Disney, and everybody knows what they mean. When a company manages to be an adjective for excellence in their field, that's when I think they've attained most admired status.
You said it's not Disney? What's your name? Gil. Gil, that's fascinating to me because Disney, if you look in a dictionary, Disney's not in there. And yet you just use the word Disney as an adjective. In fact, if I said that's so Disney, all of you would know what I meant. Now, this is where we're going. Think about the day when someone will look at a transaction and say, wow, that is so Bank of America. And everyone will know what they're talking about, and it will be a good thing.
You know, at Disney, if we didn't give people the proper training, you know, they'd go out there all pixie dusted. And then after somebody asked them where the bathroom was for about the 5,000th time that day, you know, they start to crack unless there is a solid matrix.
You already know how to delight your customers. The challenge is going to be unleashing and giving you the right and freedom to deliver what you already know how to deliver. Imagine, for example, that you take your kids down to Disney. A little girl, early in the morning, it's a Saturday, and for some weird reason, hardly anybody's there but you. And you can't believe it. And the place looks clean. You can smell popcorn at 8 o'clock in the morning, not because they're going to sell it, they want you to smell it. You can smell the popcorn, you can see it. It's all working for you. You hear that music, wah, 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 wah. It's all happening for you, you know? And you're all strapped with the cameras and the tickets. You're ready for your day. And you got the kid with you, and you look down at that castle, and it's just glistening, you know, and Snow White is in front of it. You know it's Snow White, even though she has her back to you. How do you know? Costume. What does it look like? Yeah, you know what it looks like. So you get the Kodak and you're ready for that Kodak moment. And you start barreling down that street, which you know a bus is going to let out any minute. You want to get to work. You know, one of those trams with 800 people. And you're there, and the kid's levitating. And you got the kid, and you start going down Main Street. You're heading down Main Street, heading down, and the music, it's getting better and better and better. And you get to the drawbridge, and there's Snow White looking at the castle. And you get there, and the kid's excited, and you're excited. You get your hand on the camera, you get right up to Snow White, and at that moment, man, she turns around, and she's smoking a cigarette and spitting skull and going, hey, get out of here! Okay, now wait a minute now. Let's be grown-ups. We all know that Snow White is not really an animated drawing there in Anaheim. Snow White is, in fact, a teamster. Snow White has the right to the cigarette break. By law. What's wrong with it? So what's the big deal?
There's got to be times you just want to take the phone and okay? So that's what we got to plan. We got to plan for what you do
when things get nutso? You know, what do you do when you don't feel like it?
If Mickey Mouse walked through the door right now, I guarantee at least half of you grown adults would go, well, the only thing that happened is a short person in a rubber head just walked through the door.
I am meeting people who dedicate themselves so wholly to their tasks that they've almost forgotten what it is that their role is or that their overall job is. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. She said that her daughter, named Erica, who was 6 years old, was... Whose phone is that? Whose phone is that? I'm going to answer it. Whose phone is that? Whose phone is that? I hear it. I'll find it. Give me that phone.
Ultimately, I did it for the same reason that most of your partners provide excellence day in and day out. It's because they have an understanding and a dedication to their own excellence.
This isn't too tough. After a few minutes, I hear, honey, oh, baby, baby, you gotta get that cheese all the way around that pizza evenly, because if you don't, baby, it ain't gonna be a good show for my guests. Good show for my guests. This is somebody who never interfaced with a guest, and yet she knew what her direct link to the product was. She knew what her direct link to the show was.
You know what? We're going to be the best financial institution because I deserve to work at the best financial institution, and my efforts deserve to be recognized as a most admired effort in a most admired company.
I plan to take with me every single thing I've contributed. And to do that, I'm going to have to be aware of what that is. I'm going to have to be aware of what it looks like, sounds like, smells like, and feels like. And lastly, I'm going to have to be aware that you got to get that cheese all the way around that pizza or in a good show for our guests. Thank you. It is my honor.